Anything that has a direct impact on you making money, you need to be involved in it. If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down knowing that I was the one swinging, not that somebody else was swinging on my behalf. It's nothing worse than losing because you delegated the wrong thing to the wrong person. I've got a 6-unit building that I'm doing a refinance on, right? So the appraiser reached out to me, as they do to the owner, but I don't even have keys to my buildings. I know y'all probably laugh at that, but I'm just being honest. So my property management company is the one that facilitates all that. So I put the appraiser in contact with the property management company, but the appraiser needed our rent roll, which is basically a ledger and an account of all the people that live in the building, right? Then coupled with that, they also wanted our income statement. So the income statement is the document that illustrates like the income and the expenses, which helps you determine the NOI, which is the net operating income, that then helps them determine the value, right? So NOI divided by the cap rate of an area gives you the value of a building. So that's a very critical piece because the refinance is hinged upon what the value comes back at that allows us the ability to refinance. So I called the property management company to get out in front of what the request was, because the property management company has possession of both of these documents and they would just send it over. Here's the problem. They're a management company. They're not real estate investors. So they're just fulfilling what the management requirement was, which was a request for documents. That's a layup for them. But that's not always in your best interest, because how the information is represented to the appraiser has everything to do with your success in being able to complete your loan, your refinance, whatever the case may be. So I reached out to them to tell them exactly what I wanted them to do, for instance. And also to provide them the rent roll showing that we're fully leased up. As far as the income statement, I'm gonna put that together because I wanna make sure that everything is represented the right way so that we get the most favorable value that we can on the appraisal.
So it's not fully leased up because she hasn't moved out. She's out now.
Okay.
And so she's not there.
But,
okay. We have someone else that we are looking to move into the unit.
So, and I totally understand that. But the most recent rent roll that you sent last week to the lender, where it showed that we had all 6 tenants, that's the one we need to give to the appraiser.
I've already moved her out of the system though.
What I'm saying is we sent the lender a rent roll that had all 6 people on there.
I get that. What I'm saying is in Ravella, she's already been moved out.
Yeah, but you didn't send them Ravella, you sent them a PDF of a rent roll that was already
which is from Ravella.
I'm not saying reprint a new one.
Show her being in there.
I get what you're saying. All I'm saying is refer back to the previous email and just grab that attachment. You don't need to reprint nothing. The attachment didn't change in the previous email.
Resend that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. We just recently leased up the whole building, right? And so I wanted them to make sure the same rent roll that they sent last week to my lender was the same exact rent roll that they sent to the appraiser, right? So that we had synergy there. I also wanted to make sure that they did not send over the income statement. And the reason is the way in which reporting styles differ from property management company. And their reporting style has like this weird overlap to it. So from month to month, although you see a break in the month, it still pulls in the previous month and it's like a running thing, right? And I know that some months, depending on how it falls, the data looks off. Although I understand in reality what's going on, someone who's not privy and accustomed to dealing with those type of reports would not. So I made it my business to call the property management company and tell them, do not send them over that income statement. I'll send over the income statement because I know what the appraiser is looking for and what they want to see. And so I want to make sure that I'm the one in control of my destiny. And so the lesson in that is this. At the end of the day, yes, you're going to have people to work for you. You're going to have people to delegate certain things to. Anything that has a direct impact on you making money, you need to be involved in it, period. Because for me, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down knowing that I was the one swinging, not that somebody else was swinging on my behalf. It's nothing worse than losing because you delegated the wrong thing to the wrong person. And oftentimes in business, I've been doing this 17 years. I got 120 units, multi-million-dollar portfolio, teach people all over the world to do it. And I still have no problem with getting my hands dirty because I understand that it's requisite in certain situations. And one of the biggest problems for investors, business owners alike, is that they think they're too big, and that pride will hurt you to start thinking that you shouldn't be involved in certain things. At the end of the day, if you're trying to move the needle and make money, there are certain things that require your touch because you should be the expert in making the money, and other pieces should be the expert in helping you maintain, manage, and all the rest of it. So don't get it twisted, like get involved. Listen, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I just want to tell you really briefly, if you are an aspiring investor or you are an active investor and you want to scale your business through remote investing, you have to go get a copy of my ebook, The Top 5 Things That You Need to Know About Investing in Real Estate Remotely. There's no fluff. It is practical application on how you can go out and build a solid remote investing business with all the fundamentals that you need. There's the link in the description below. Go out, get you a copy of that book, and also make a comment. Let me know how it's helped you. All right, now back to the video, y'all. So here's what I did. After I reached out to the property management company, told them what I wanted done, I then still called the appraiser myself, because I knew that there were going to be very specific questions that the appraiser was going to ask me that not only I would probably have the best idea, but more importantly, I definitely would know the best answer. Okay, best answer based off of what I know that they're trying to accomplish. See, a lot of the time, if we don't understand the origin of the question, then we'll improperly answer the question. Well, how do I know that? Because I improperly answered the question so many times, right? So now I know what the intent is, although they don't let me know the intent when they ask it. So I gave the property management, see, you got to understand, employees think linear. They come to work, they do a function, they get paid for that, they clock out, they go home. With that being said, because they think so linear, then you have to think for them. So I had to call the property management company and think for them so that they didn't have to think on their own. Because if they thought on their own, they were going to give the wrong answer. So I told them specifically, if the appraiser asks you anything about the property that does not have to do with you scheduling them to get in or the rent roll, say that I'm not inclined to answer that. As a matter of fact, I don't understand the nuance of the question. The owner of the property would be better suited to answer those questions, because I also understand that even though I called the appraiser, they're still gonna probably ask the property management company the same question. That's just what they do. They're like auditors almost. And so I explicitly told them, don't provide any information other than I can get you in and coordinate with the tenants, and I could get you the rent roll, which is the ledger of the people living in the property. So when I called the appraiser, true to form, by the way, how much did you pay for this? By the way, how much did you guys put into it? So what specific renovations did you do? You know, I noticed under this entity that you own other units. What are the rents on those units? Oh, well, those units have nothing to do with this unit, but the rents that are on this unit are inside of the rent roll that my property management company sent you over. Well, okay, yeah, I was just trying to get an idea of, oh yeah, well, you have a direct idea of what's going on with this building because the rent roll is in your email and you can check it out, and it's got a ledger with all the rents. Oh, okay. You've been doing this for a little while. Yeah, it's on 17 years. You know, I got 120 units, 16 units, and 20 units and 40 units. Oh yeah, you know what you're doing. Yeah, so I think the proposed value is about 350 here. I did one down the street. It sounds pretty close. I said, well, you know, we're running about 40% operations expense. So based on that NOI and, you know, 8.5% cap in the area, it should be around 400,000 or so. Yeah, okay, that sounds about right. All right. So I made sure that he was clear that I knew, one, what I was talking about. I also gave him the pertinent information that he, by the way, was asking that I know is very relevant to how he's going to determine his value on this property. He asked specificity about, did we do kitchen and bath remodels? Did we upgrade the furniture? Like all of these questions, right? And I wanted to make sure he had the specificity, because one of the things that happens during the refinance is you send over what the scope of work was to the lender. Well, that always don't translate over to the appraiser. And not only that, that spreadsheet don't tell the context all the time. So it may have like 10,000 for baths, 15,000 for kitchen, but that doesn't give the specificity of how far you went in the renovation. So I want to talk to the appraiser to add the additional color so that it just all paints the picture, right, in the way in which I needed to get the most value. So the moral of the story is, you need to be the expert and you need to own the role as the expert, because everybody gets a check except for you. That appraiser getting $3,200 to do my appraisal, whether I get the result that I want or not. That property management company getting paid 7% on my portfolio based off the rent they collect, regardless of what expenses I have or not. And so at the end of the day, it's my job to be the expert. It's your job to be the expert. And so go be exactly that. Be the expert, get paid, manage people well, and don't take your hands off the wheel.